Hello, third graders. I am so excited to start this unit. I absolutely love it. I love learning about history. So I'm excited to learn about the ancient Roman civilization with you for the next few weeks. So the lesson 1 is called What is Rome? You can see in the illustration on the cover of this picture that you see of the cover of our unit, you can see different parts of Rome. What do you see in this picture? Give you some clues as to what we're going to learn about. So, can you tell me what a civilization is? What is a civilization? Well, a civilization is a group of people living together in a well-organized way. People in civilizations built cities, have writing systems, have leaders and laws, practice religions, grow their own food by farming, and have different people doing different jobs. Groups of people around the world in ancient times and modern times have done these things. Do you live in a civilization? Yes, we have all those things here in the United States. All right, so some of the ancient civilizations are the Mesopotamians, the Egyptians, the Maya, the Aztec, the Inca, the Chinese, the Indian, and the Greek. How do we gain information about these ancient civilizations? They're not around anymore. How do we know what we know about them? Well, scientists called archaeologists who have found clues to help us better understand these ancient civilizations. So over the next few weeks, you're going to learn about the ancient Roman civilization, a civilization that is still remembered today. So many of the ancient Roman accomplishments have remained with us today. The calendar we use is very similar to the one created by a very important ancient Roman leader. Have you ever seen a picture of the White House or the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.? The style of building and its architecture was influenced by ancient Romans and ancient Greeks and how they did their buildings. Have you ever played the game hopscotch with chalk? A similar game was played by Roman children. All right, so over the next few weeks, we will learn a lot about the significant contributions ancient Romans gave to the world. So as you listen to the read alouds, you will be hearing some terms to refer to the time when the ancient Roman civilization began. So BC or BCE, right? And BC stands for before Christ, and BCE stands for before the Common or Christian era. So BC and BCE are two terms used to reference events that came before the birth of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ is a teacher who lived a little more than 2,000 years ago and who had many followers, later called Christians. And Christians believe that Jesus is actually the Son of God. His teachings and his life and what he did are what Christians believe in. It's the basis of the Christian religion. So even though the term BC is a Christian term, other people also use it to think about time. So we also have our time period we live in today. Today we live in the period AD, or they also say CE. AD stands for Anno Domini, which, like BC, has a basis in the Christian religion. AD means in the year of the Lord and describes the time after Jesus was born. CE stands for Common or Christian Era and also used to describe this time. So I'll use the term BC and AD. So BC means before Christ. AD means after Christ. All right, the year of our Lord. Anno Domini. Look at this map. Do you see the United States over on the left? Right, we are part of North America. There's other countries in North America too. You can see Canada and Mexico. And Rome is in Italy, and Italy is actually over in Europe. So if you can see my cursor, we are over here in Kentucky, and Italy is right over here. This is the continent of Europe. It's above Africa, and to the left of Asia, we have the continent of Europe. Okay? So long ago, a large group of people lived together in this area in a well-organized way as a civilization. The ancient Roman civilization developed in the area of the world across the Atlantic Ocean on the continent of Europe. Right? The Greek civilization was also located near here. Okay, in Greece, right here, to the right of Italy. And very important sea surrounds them, the Mediterranean Sea. You can see Italy here is shaped kind of like a boot in the Mediterranean Sea. A piece of land that juts out like this into the ocean or a sea and has water on three sides is called a peninsula. So Italy is called a peninsula. Okay, so what's our purpose for listening today? We're going to listen carefully to hear more about this ancient civilization that developed long ago and to find out how we have gained so much information about their ways of life. So just a side remark, cameras didn't actually exist back then, so all the pictures and photographs that you see in this domain represent things that either existed long ago, so it's not actual pictures of them, or they're pictures of statues, things that have made it through time, or things that are similar to what it would have existed then. So some of the photographs are of actual things that have that still exist from Rome, and then others are representations. Some vocabulary you'll hear architectural is an adjective related to the art of designing buildings and other structures, describes the style in which buildings and other structures are designed. Artifacts are man-made objects such as tools or ornamental decorations that show how a group of people lived and developed their way of life. Culture is the characteristics that make up a group of people, a way of life. Empire, a group of countries or regions ruled by one ruler or one government, a large area usually controlled by one emperor. Frescoes are colorful pictures made by painting on wet plaster or a wall or ceiling. Ruins are the remains of a structure, an old civilization, a destroyed town, city, or building. Vibrant is an adjective. It describes something full of life and energy. Let's get started. What is Rome? Rome is the capital city of Italy, which is a country in Europe. This aerial scene shows what you might see if you visit Rome today. It is a beautiful, vibrant city full of fascinating things to see and do. Here's something that thousands of people travel to Rome to see each year. Does anyone know what this is? It's called the Colosseum. When you look at this picture, you might ask yourself another question. What was the city of Rome like a long time ago? After all, this building does not appear to be new or in a very good condition. That is because it is almost 2,000 years old. This famous building is just one of countless remains from the ancient Roman civilization. The Colosseum was basically a big sports stadium for Romans. However, instead of watching football or baseball, ancient Roman sports fans came to the Colosseum to watch combat sports, often involving people fighting each other or animals, sometimes to their death. The fact that their sports were so bloody and deadly might lead you to think the Romans were violent people, and they were in many ways. The Romans had some of the most powerful armies in history. But as you can see from the beauty of Roman architecture in this photograph, the ancient Romans were also incredibly creative people. So remember, architecture is the design of a style of building. The Romans were the first to widely use arches in many of their buildings and bridges. The arch, first used by the Egyptians and Mesopotamians and improved upon by the Romans, allows an opening of a structure, such as a window or doorway, to be much wider because the curved wedges of stone offer more support than a flat piece of stone would. You will learn more about this and other contributions of the ancient Romans as you hear about their history, government, art, religion, and more. Beginning with the city of Rome, the Romans built a civilization that controlled most of present-day Western Europe, as well as large parts of present-day Asia and Africa. In yellow, this map shows the large area the Romans controlled at the height of their empire. See the boot-shaped country near the middle? That is the country we now call Italy. Italy is called a peninsula because it is surrounded on three sides by water. This is where the ancient Roman civilization began, and from there it spread to the north, to the south, to the east, and to the west. It took many years to build this vast empire. That is why the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, has come to refer to the creating of something that is large or complicated and that takes much time and dedication. We'll talk more about that common saying later. I will tell you that I have heard Miss Cat say that to some kids before. As their empire spread, the Romans also spread their culture or way of life, including their laws, art, architectural influences, language, and knowledge. Although most ancient Roman buildings are now ruins or are completely gone, Roman culture changed the world in ways we continue to experience today. So remember, ruins are the remains of a structure. So these are the ruins of a structure of the Colosseum. Before we go farther into ancient Roman history, let's travel outside the city of Rome into the surrounding countryside. Italy is surrounded on nearly all sides by the famous sparkling blue water of the Mediterranean Sea. The city of Rome is situated near the Mediterranean coast. Far outside the city limits of Rome and away from the coast, the lush Italian countryside is home to rolling wheat fields, groves of oil trees, and vineyards where grapes are grown to make vinegar and wine. So you can see the vineyards in the bottom picture. Like many lands close to the Mediterranean, the climate in Rome is fairly warm and sunny most of the year. Add it all together, the blue waters, the beautiful city, the fertile countryside, and you can see that Italy is a really pretty nice place to call home. The Romans were not the first people to think the area known as present-day Italy was a good place to live. In fact, the ancient Greeks had settled in parts of southern Italy. Starting around 700 BC, remember that means before Christ, a civilization called the Etruscans moved into central Italy. Nobody is sure where the Etruscans came from exactly, but we know that they started building towns a couple hundred years before the city of Rome existed. This picture shows the ruins of a walled Etruscan city. Why do you think they built the city in that particular spot? It looks like it would be hard to get there, doesn't it? Well, that was the point. The walkway in this photograph was built many years later. Remember, there were no cameras during the time of this ancient civilization. Despite its beauty and all that the land and nearby sea had to offer, Italy, and basically everywhere else in the Mediterranean region at the time, could be a dangerous place. The Etruscans weren't the only people living in this region. There was always a chance that another group of people would come along and decide they wanted to call the area of present-day Italy their home, or steal all the resources they could from the people who already lived there. In those times, it was smart to build a city on a steep hill surrounded by high walls for protection from invaders. The Etruscans and Greeks were only two of several groups to settle on the peninsula of Italy. Many of these cultures would essentially be mixed together to create Roman culture. Like other people during that time period, the Etruscans were fond of stone sculptures. In some areas, the hills and mountains have large sections of hard white stone called marble. Ancient Etruscans carved gorgeous sculptures from this marble more than 2,000 years ago. Etruscan artists in architecture, such as painting, sculpture, and building designs, helped shape Rome's art and architecture. So you can see this artifact that they've found. So this is a real artifact from the Etruscan people that they found. There are items in the museums. There are items in a museum today, like countless other Roman artifacts in museum collections all over the world. An artifact is an object that was created by a person who lived long, long ago. An artifact is like a door to the past. What do you think a door to the past means? Are we talking about a literal and actual door? No, right? A door to the past just means we can look at what the past was like. It's not literal, it's figurative. Tools, weapons, jewelry, artwork, pottery, and household items such as dishes or pots are all examples of artifacts that provide clues about people and allow us to see into the past. Artifacts, along with ruins like the Colosseum, roads, and bridges, teach us the way ancient Romans lived, worked, played, and fought. Some of these remains are easy to see, like the ruins that dot the Italian landscape. Others have been buried for many years and continue to be discovered during archaeological digs. Archaeologists are puzzle solvers. They find little clues hidden in the ground, broken shards of pottery, an arrowhead, a few beads, and bit by bit they piece together a story about the people who created these things. This photograph provides an example of one of those puzzle pieces, an early Roman mosaic. A mosaic is a piece of art made of hundreds and sometimes thousands of colorful little stones carefully arranged to create a design. Sometimes a mosaic also includes small glass or baked clay pieces called ceramics. Wealthy Romans could afford to have mosaics in their homes to decorate their walls and floors. Artifacts such as mosaics teach us many things about ancient people. Looking at this mosaic, you can see that the ancient Romans were very artistic and creative. You can also see what a Roman from that time actually looks like. The amazing thing about the artifacts of the Roman Empire is that a lot of them have not actually been discovered in the city of Rome. In fact, many artifacts have not been discovered in present-day Italy at all. This mosaic was created by Romans, but it was found in the present-day nation of Turkey, which straddles Europe and Asia. It was found hundreds of miles from Rome, but it was still a Roman mosaic. How is that possible? How did it get there? Well, you can see where Turkey is right here. So you have Italy, Greece, and then Turkey. Turkey's right between Europe and Asia. Well, as you have heard, the city of Rome is the current capital of Italy, but during the height of the Roman Empire about 2,000 years ago, it was the capital of a very large portion of the world. The Romans had powerful armies, and over the course of hundreds of years, they set out to conquer and rule every bit of land they could. Every bit of land they could find. The Roman Empire extended from present-day Italy in every direction, north through present-day France all the way to Britain, south to North Africa, west to Spain, and east across Asia through the present-day country of Turkey all the way to the Middle East. What do you think conquer means? If you're going to conquer something, if you're going to conquer another land, it means to take over. One thing that allowed Rome to spread so far and wide was its system of roads. In many conquered areas, the Romans built paved roads for their armies and to make traveling and trading easier. These roads were able to last many years because they were made with concrete, a hard, strong material made by mixing water with cement, sand, and pebbles and allowing the mixture to harden. The Romans were the first to invent this particular concrete mixture that is still used in modern times. Rome became known for its many well-built roads, which created a network along with some of Europe's finest cities and richest lands developed. Some of these concrete roads still exist today, as does the saying born of its time, all roads lead to Rome. We'll hear more about the saying later. Why do you think the word network is used to describe road systems and body systems? How would they be connected, right? So both the body systems and the road systems are organized and interconnected. All roads lead to Rome. Fun saying. Romans were also known for the frescoes they created, colorful pictures that made by painting wet plaster on a wall or ceiling. This faded fresco was uncovered in the city of Pompeii in Italy many years after the city had been destroyed. Does anybody know what happened to Pompeii? Well, in AD 79, so AD is Omnium Diem, so after Jesus was born, Mount Vesuvius suddenly erupted, spewing forth fire, poisonous gases, and giant clouds of ash that fell on the nearby city of Pompeii, burying everything in the volcano's wake. For more than 1,500 years, the town remained hidden until in the late 1500s, some men found a few ruins of marble and frescoes, like this one, while digging a canal. As more and more ruins have been unearthed, archaeologists have been able to piece together the story of this lost city and its people. Archaeologists suspect there are still many ruins and artifacts waiting to be discovered in Pompeii and across all of the surrounding areas where the Romans once ruled and lived. You will continue to learn about the ancient Romans and how their culture, inventions, and many contributions are still a part of our lives today. All right, so if you look at this sideways picture, you'll have to tilt your head, but you can see Mount Vesuvius over the ruins of Pompeii that they found. In what present-day country is the vibrant city of Rome located? That's right, Italy. Italy is called a peninsula. What does that mean? It is an area of land surrounded on three sides by water. What body of water surrounds Italy? Use this text feature, the map below, and tell me what body of water surrounds Italy. The Mediterranean Sea. On which continent is Rome, Italy located? What's the continent? Look at the map, it tells you. It's located in Europe. At the time, why did people consider it safer to build a city surrounded by walls on a hill? It was easier to defend from invaders and people wanting to conquer the land around them. Describe what you see here. What is this text feature called? What does it show us? Well, it's a network of roads in ancient Rome, and this text feature is a map, right? So it's a map of the roads of ancient Rome. What invention helped to create this lasting network of Roman roads, some of which still exist today? Right? Concrete, a mixture of water, cement, sand, and pebbles, which hardens into a lasting substance. We still use concrete today. I bet you didn't know it came from ancient Rome. Why was this such an important Roman contribution? The invention of concrete made it possible to build many roads for people to travel in and out of Rome, and for Rome to expand. Rome became known for its many roads. Concrete is still used today to build roads, buildings, and more. What is an artifact? An artifact is an object that was created in the past by a person. Alright, so our word for today is ruins. In the read aloud you heard, although most ancient Rome buildings are now ruins or are completely gone, Roman culture changed the world in ways we continue to experience today. Say the word ruins. Ruins. Ruins are the remains of a structure of an old civilization, such as a broken down building, bridge, or road. Have you ever seen or learned about ruins? I find them really interesting. They give us a picture of what life used to be like. All right, so we're going to talk about sayings and phrases. Rome wasn't built in a day. All roads lead to Rome. So proverbs are short, traditional sayings that have been passed along orally. People have talked about them from generation to generation. So parents tell their kids, and those kids tell their kids, and it keeps going. These sayings usually express general truths based on experiences and observations of everyday life. While some proverbs do have literal meanings, that is, they mean exactly what they say, many proverbs have a rich meaning beyond the literal level. So it doesn't mean exactly what it says. So we need to understand what that means. Have you ever heard anyone say Rome wasn't built in a day? Can you say that? Say, Rome wasn't built in a day. What do you think that means? Remember, you heard the saying in today's read aloud, used to describe the many structures built by Romans that took many, many years to build. You'll continue to learn about how, over the course of hundreds of years, Rome came to be one of the largest and most powerful civilizations the world has ever known. It took hundreds of years to develop, not just one day. So the figurative meaning, so like the meaning that you have that's not literal, that's not exactly what it says, means that it takes time and patience to accomplish something important. Have you ever worked on an important project that took a long time to finish, either at school or at home? The phrase Rome wasn't built in a day could be used to describe the time and patience it takes to finish a project. So I think I heard Miss Cat say this to a kid the other day. They were trying to do something really fast and get it done, and it was a harder thing to do, and she said, Rome wasn't built in a day. You need to slow down. So you can say that like it takes a long time to do something that's important. Have you ever heard anyone say all roads lead to Rome? When we looked at our map of the roads, you could see most of them led to Rome, right? So there was a literal meaning of all those roads. If you kept taking them, you would get to Rome. The roads branched off into many directions like the branches of a tree. You could use many different roads to travel. This network of roads made communication and travel much easier through the Roman Empire and allowed the empire to continue to expand. The figurative meaning of this proverb is that there are often many different ways to think about and work on a problem in order to arrive at the same conclusion or solution. For example, many scientists worked for many, many years to come up with a way to understand and prove that the Earth was a sphere, that it was round. Other scientists, such as Copernicus and Galileo, studied the notes of other scientists to determine and prove that Earth was not at the center of the universe. These scientists had many different methods, observations, and notes, but eventually many of them arrived at the same interconnected conclusions. So when you're doing something a different way, let's say you're solving a math problem, maybe you're solving a division problem, and you use a different strategy than your friend, but you both come up with the correct answer, right? You can say, well, all roads lead to Rome. It doesn't matter which road you take, we came up with the same division answer, the same quotient, right? Because we did it correctly, they were just different strategies. So you're going to listen for different phrases like these. Think about the literal and the figurative meaning. Good job, third graders. I hope you enjoyed learning about Rome. I'm excited to learn more with you.